Down, you know, he's got
Put mine back, nah.
You know, it bakes and broils.
That's fancy.
All the things, you know.
My meager living. You see what I mean?
Welcome. The living room. The living room is wonderful. Got a nice little wraparound balcony joint. Good views.
Okay. I don't even know where to start with this because this is a lot. Like this area is bigger than my whole apartment. Do you have?
I keep my karaoke stuff in there because it goes down.
When it goes down?
Yeah, I like to karaoke.
He is being so insecure. He's like, oh, this is bigger than my apartment. Damn, you got this? Damn, that's fancy.
Where's the mic? Ain't no way that this is what y'all do at this house.
Yes, it is. I turn the lights on and it gets cracking.
You have uplighting.
Yes.
And a karaoke machine.
Yeah.
At your crib.
I do.
Ma'am, this is a bit much.
All right, bro.
He a hater.
This dude is making me mad. Why is he upset? He's literally crushing her. He's making her feel bad inside, and no woman want to feel like that. You married to her. Why is you not happy?
I have had men state that my career and my being successful in reaching goals can be intimidating. So the way that he's behaving kind of has me like a little nervous. So this is the guest bedroom. I already laid out like my scrubs and stuff that I'm gonna need.
I feel like this is the size of my bedroom. How many TVs you got?
4.
I feel like I'm lacking. I'm depressed.
Don't be.
He meant that shit. Don't disregard that shit. He meant that shit. By looking at everything that you don't achieve, that you're successful in everything that you did, he is feeling threatened.
I just need his treat jar.
Okay.
Because my guy likes treats. What else?
You sure you don't want to bring the karaoke machine? Because there's a housewarming.
They're going to throw us out.
But we don't have the uplighting to match the karaoke.
I can bring one of those. I can bring one of those and we'll get it.
Nah,
we'll be in there rocking.
I'm going to try to match your fly, but I don't know that I'm going to be fly enough with this. Yeah.
We could definitely bring some uplights, you know.
You got to wrap this shit up.
Definitely.
He got a lot of issues within himself that he needs to work on. He's not ready for marriage.
I don't know what show that was, but that was wild though. So this is, a perfect example of how, negging, right? That's what he's doing. And it's just because he's insecure. Men often struggle with women being successful, right? We know that men struggle with women being successful. Definitely more successful than them. But successful nonetheless, though. Like, even if a man is successful, he struggles with women who are successful, who achieve a good amount of success for themselves. And that is in large part because he can't control that woman, obviously. That's what all of this is rooted in. But it's just interesting seeing it play out, right? Because, a lot of men will try to have you believe like, oh no, that's not what most men do, or that's not what it's like. No, that's kind of like how most men function, to be honest with you. I think that the way that he's acting is how most men would act to some extent, maybe not say the exact things verbatim, but definitely to some extent.
So on today's episode of Things I See on the Internet, I saw somebody make a comment that says, most men are afraid of successful women. And to be honest, like, I highly, highly disagree with that, because most men of honor and integrity, they love, salute.
You know what's crazy? That I don't know if he did this intentionally, but I feel like he did, right? So he says, most men, I disagree. Most men don't believe that. And then he says, most men of honor and integrity. So he has to preface it by saying men of honor and integrity. But if you ask this man, do you think most men are of honor and integrity? I bet you he would say no. So most men actually are intimidated by a woman's success, even based on what he's saying.
Men of honor and integrity, they love, salute, applaud, and highly support women of success. However, it's gonna be a big group of y'all that's not about to like what I'm about to say, but somebody gotta tell you. A lot of women who have a certain level of success or a certain amount of finances are totally convinced that because of it, that entitles them to talk to people, especially men, any kind of way.
But it does though. And when you so he's being vague, talking to a man any kind of way. That's really not what it is. It's just a woman standing on business that they don't like. Like if a woman can stand on business and not have to shrink herself in any way, shape, or form, then that to a man is disrespectful, right? Like I played the video the other day. It was a man and a woman arguing, and the man was talking crazy to her. The whole argument was stupid, and he started. It was dumb. He was being disrespectful to her. At the end of it, in like the third final clip that I showed, she finally started to like raise her voice a little bit, like she was getting agitated because he was trying to gaslight her. And she wasn't being disrespectful though. She wasn't like, what the, like she not no attitude whatsoever. She just kind of raised her voice a little. I really didn't even notice it the first time. But anyways, she raised her voice a little bit, and this fool was like, he was like, lower your voice in my house, lower your voice in my, like, that's like, men just can't take women talking to them, you know what I'm saying? I don't want it sternly. Like they just can't take it in any way, shape, or form. A woman being stern with a man is going to be seen as aggressive, right?
Handle men disrespectfully and will emasculate a man if he is not in the same tax bracket as they are. Baby, don't get triggered yet. I'm just getting started.
How do they emasculate? I be just wanting y'all to elaborate one time. Give me an example of what that looks like. How are women who make more money than men emasculating men? What is going on? He's never experienced it before. He's never seen it before. He just is saying it happens. I bet you he couldn't give you an example that would actually reflect something that most women do, or most women that make more money than men do even. You know what I'm saying? It would be like some made up fucking fairy tale fictitious situation, some extreme version of some woman, you know, saying something crazy to a man. It's like, okay, I mean, I guess a woman could say that. You can tell me anything for the most part, and I'll be like, yeah, okay, that could happen. But does that happen though? Like, is that common? No. So why bring it up?
Also, a large group of these individuals cannot be led by nothing but money. You can't talk to them about nothing. They don't listen. And the moment you got to tell them about themselves, they either use their money, their education, or their overall level of success to deflect the conversation. Now, one thing is for sure.
Doing the thing that men do, by the way. What he's describing is what men do. And he's basically like acting like it's such a problem when women do it, which it could be a problem. But typically when women do it, they're doing it at like it's a reflex to the behaviors of men, like a man trying to pull some bullshit on her being like, please don't test me like that. I make too much money. I'm too educated. Like they'll say that in that instance. Oh, she throwing it in my face. No, you just tried to play her for a fucking boo-boo the fool. And she was like, nah, I'm good. Right? They're not out here just saying that shit all willy-nilly.
Absolutely love seeing our women, especially our sisters, bossing up and having big success out here. But baby, let me tell you something. If the accomplishments that you made got your nose stuck so far up in the air that you think that every man that has less than you is beneath you, or you don't have an ounce of respect, then no matter the accolades, you have failed. And a man that not your child's father who don't take care of his kids, or the guy that's complacent with failure, but I'm talking a real man who is in tune with himself and has himself together, is not about to tolerate no type of disrespect from nobody.
And that woman isn't disrespecting that man. That's the point. The man you're describing and the woman you're describing will get along just fine. So why are you having this discussion? She's not doing that to a man that commands that respect, to a man that respects her, that appreciates her. Why would she do that to him? Right? That's stupid, right?
Especially you. The moment you and a man decide to come together under the same roof, if you make $100K a year and he makes $75,000 a year, that extra $25 that you make don't automatically make you the leader of that household, nor does it make you wear the pants.
So the man does? If the man made more money, like if you ask this dude, well, what makes a man the head of the household? He would say, oh, the man is the provider. Right? But if the woman makes 25% more money than the man, then all of a sudden, no, we don't care if you make more money than us. We don't care nothing about that. You don't wear the pants in this house. So basically, it doesn't matter what women do. Men are going to be the leaders in the household in y'all's minds, right? Like you're obsessed with that idea, right?
Pipe down to go set over there. And before y'all jump y'all piss ass in my comments trying to attack me, let me make this clear. This is not me telling you that you should settle for a man that makes less than you. You can do whatever you desire, but an accusation was made ignorantly and I responded truthfully.
Nah, you on that bullshit. I ain't gonna even hold you, broski.
I mean, obviously they're going to say no, but the honest to God truth is yes. Guys will be insecure or have trouble with women that are more successful than them. When we have a girl that is more successful than us, we look at them like, oh shit, what are we doing for them? We don't look at ourselves as being able to provide an emotional connection as value. As a guy, I feel like my value comes from supporting you, providing for you. No guy wants to walk around and be like, yeah, I'm her emotional support dog. You want a guy that's smart enough to look at you and say, you know what? I'm really excited, I'm really happy for you, and I know my time will come. But the guy you're with needs to be confident, secure in his own ambition and his own goals. And that's not to say two people can't be extremely successful in a relationship. But I mean, let's be real too. A successful, smart woman's not gonna wanna be with a bum. That's the reality.
So he is saying kind of the opposite of what the other man is saying. And I think that what he's saying makes sense, right? This is what I'm saying. It's like even the dodo brains, even the, you know what I'm saying? The misogynistic, like in one breath, they say one thing and the next breath, they say this stuff because this is real. This is why most men are intimidated by women who make more money than them because they feel like they don't bring anything else to the table. That's all. I mean, it's pretty much that. They don't know how they would be able to control her. They don't know how they'll be able to manipulate her or how they'll have whatever power they well, necessary, right? That they feel like they need. They don't know how they're going to achieve it. Instead of realizing, oh, well, if she makes more money than me, then she's with me for me. I know she's with me because she likes me, and just being secure in that. And then, you know, working on being the best version of yourself. Instead, it's like, oh man, she gonna leave me for somebody, which is a weird thing to think when you think about it. Like she knows, unless you've been lying to her, she knows she makes more money than you. So why would you be insecure about that? I know the answer to that. It's because you are projecting onto her the way that you would treat her if you made more money than her. You think that she's going to treat you like less than. She's going to treat you, you know, like her fucking understudy, right? Like her shadow or some shit like that. You think that that's how she's going to treat you because that's how you would treat her if you made significantly more money than her, if you were significantly more successful than her. That's all it is. It's all about control and manipulation and you know, things of that nature. Like it's like this man said, he astutely pointed out, you don't know how to be anything but a checkbook, pretty much, right? You don't know how to show up for her emotionally. You don't know how to, you know, you're not interested in doing it either. Like even if you don't know, you can figure it out, but you're like, nah, I'm not interested in it, right? So then you're like, oh, if I can't buy her a house, if I can't buy her a car, then what good am I to her? She's gonna leave me.
Dating you would not be easy.
No, I know that.
Well, no, I'm sorry. You seem like a very nice person. I didn't mean it like that at all. Yeah, you seem like a train wreck. No, but I mean, a very successful, independent woman, a lot of guys can't handle that, especially if they make more than them.
Yeah.
That's a huge threat that most guys can't deal with.
I agree. I mean, trust me, I
You see what he said? He not just when women make more money than the man, he said a very successful woman in and of itself is intimidating to a man.
No, but I mean, a very successful, independent woman, a lot of guys can't handle that, especially if they make more than them.
Yeah.
That's a huge threat that most guys can't deal with.
I agree. I mean, trust me, I agree with you. I'm dealing with it. But yeah, I mean, I need someone who is so secure that nothing else in my life is a threat to them. And that's been difficult for me to find. Mm-hmm. But those guys do exist.
Sure.
But yes, I do think most men, unfortunately, do want a woman to rely on them. And I think having a financially independent woman is very scary to them.
And That's why what she's saying is when I talk about how men are responsible for the conditions, for the terrible conditions of dating. This will be a perfect example of that, because this, like when men say like, oh, these no man wants a boss babe and all of that stuff. Okay, but why not though? You really don't have a legitimate reason as to why you don't want that woman. Like you can't actually say why you don't want her. So you make up stuff, right? You project. You do what those first two gentlemen talk about. Well, definitely the first guy. The whole like, oh man, if she makes, she make more money than me, she gonna talk down to me and da 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 da. No, that's how you're gonna talk to her. That's how you get down. You think, oh, if I make more money, I can say whatever I want to say and say how I say it, right? But imagine if men overcame that insecurity and just, went on a date, treated the woman with respect and saw, some value in himself beyond, monetary value. How much better would the relationship be? You think that the same issues would arise? No. I know men like to think that. I know men like to make up this lie, like that women are just out here itching to fucking shit on us and treat us poorly. But once again, that's just projection. That's just you, man. If you think that women are itching to treat us poorly, that's how you think. That's how you think. That's what you think about women.
So picking right back up on this conversation of successful women and dating, a lot of successful women say that men are intimidated by their success, and I hear from a lot of men that say that that's not true. They're not intimidated by women's success. So I think
they are, and they're lying. Let me just cut to the chase. They are, and they're lying. If men say that they're not, they are. And I'm not saying every man is intimidated. I'm saying, but if they say that men in general aren't intimidated, then they're lying.
I think it's all pointing to the fact that women are still having trouble dating men who make less than they do, or are not as, we'll say, financially successful as they are. So if it's not intimidation, men, what is it exactly that is leading you to not wanting to date these types of women?
It's intimidation. But let's see what the men said to her.
Video asking. So yesterday I posted a video asking men what they found unattractive about successful women, if it's not intimidation. And I got an overwhelming response from people in my DMs, and I wanted to share with you what the overall sentiment was from both men and women. A lot of men said it's not that successful women are intimidating, but it's that they tend to be more masculine, that they are more aggressive, confrontational, and stressed.
So what did I say? What is masculine? Traits commonly found in men, right? Have I not been saying that it's just men projecting and saying like this is like that they're going to treat us the way that men treat women? Okay, cool. Let's go back. Let's listen again. I know people like, you're putting words in their mouth. I'm not. What did she say?
Overwhelming response from people in my DMs, and I wanted to share with you what the overall sentiment was from both men and women. A lot of men said it's not that successful women are intimidating, but it's that they tend to be more masculine, that they are more aggressive, confrontational, and stressed.
So you mean they're acting like a man? And the man is that these men are literally saying, it's okay for me to act like that. It's okay for me to do that. But if she does that, I can't take it. That's too much for me. I should be the only one to be able to act masculine, quote unquote. Am I missing something? Is that not what they're saying? Is that not exactly what they're saying?
From work, and then they bring that home with them. And so that they're less fun and less joyful, and therefore less feminine.
What do men do? Here's what I'm saying. So they're just trying to, this is why gender roles are stupid. This is why they're harmful. This is a perfect example. The men are essentially saying it is okay for me as a man to exhibit these characteristics and traits, right? It's okay for me as a man to go to work, bring that shit home to my wife and my kids and be dismissive, be despondent, be disconnected, be disruptive. That's okay. It's okay for me to do that. That's masculine. But if a woman does that, I can't tolerate it. That's too much.
Big thing that a lot of men said was that successful women are disrespectful and that they don't care if their woman makes more money than them, but they still want the respect of.
AKA, they don't care if a woman makes more money than them, but they want that woman to treat him the same way they would treat him if he made more money than her. Right? That's the respect they're talking about. And really is not respect, it's control. They're like, yeah, I don't care if you make more money than me. I just want you to give me, you still need to give me the same amount of control that I would have if I made more money than you. If I don't get that control, then I'm going to feel extremely insecure and I won't be able to be content and happy in our relationship.
Someone who does. A lot of women, on the other hand, actually agreed that they found it easier to find potential matches when they were making less money, and that the more successful they became in their careers, the less dating options that they had. Not
No doubt.
because they weren't trying to date, but because men were less interested in them when they were making more money. One thing that I heard from both men and women is that it's not about financial success and it's more about gender roles and how it's evolving. Women say that they are okay.
What did I say? I said, this is why gender roles are toxic. This is how they hurt us. So it's less about the success thing and it's more about the gender roles. The men want the women to do they expect the women to make more money, but also do all the things that women normally do, conventionally do, right? Labor in the home, emotional labor in the relationship, like the same thing. They expect the woman to she can go to work and be as successful as she wants to be, but when you come home, I need you to put on your femininity hat and quote unquote act like a woman and don't be upset, don't be short with me, whatever, right? I need for you to show up and treat me like a typical woman, like like how a woman would treat me if I made more money than her and I was the breadwinner, or she wasn't as successful as me, or she didn't reach a high level of success herself, right? Where I can come home and I can treat her like a wife slave. If you are not interested in that, I'm not interested in you.
Okay with dating a man who makes less than she does, so long as he's willing to pick up the slack in other ways.
Exactly. And the men aren't willing to pick up the slack in other ways. Let me hear that part again. That was telling.
They are okay with dating about financial success, and it's more about gender roles and how it's evolving. Women say that they are okay with dating a man who makes less than she does, so long as he's willing to pick up the slack in other ways.
Exactly. But what ends up happening is, we all know, because I talk about it all the time, when the women make more money than men, they still do the majority of the labor. And smart women, successful women are like, yeah, I'm not really into signing up for that though. Like that doesn't work out for me. Right. This also is proof that, we talk about who controls what. Like, I hate having that discussion, but let's be honest. These women can be in a relationship with a man anytime they wanted to, but it's all about their ability to accept a certain level of disrespect. As long as the women are willing to accept that they are going to be treated as slaves or appliances in their relationship, then they can have a man. They can be with a man. As long as the women are willing to shrink themselves to be in the relationship, they can be with the man. They can have a man, which to some extent is the majority of relationships, how the majority of relationships function, that women are just constantly shrinking themselves and trying to fit within the confines of what makes a man comfortable, right? Because if she's too big, if she's, too pretty or too vocal or whatever the case may be, or she takes up too much space, then that man will be insecure and he will try to, clip her wings, so to speak, right?